the most common problem that I see creators running into is probably one that you're facing right now if you're watching this video. And it's that you've put in all of the effort, you made all the content, you've built up an audience, and you maybe even have a lot of viewers, but your bank account is still struggling. And that is the exact situation that Tom was in. Now, I'm going to introduce you to Tom shortly. He's a client of mine who, a few months ago, he was in that same situation. He had a nice size audience on YouTube, millions of views, but he just knew he wasn't monetizing and providing as much value as he could to that audience. So he had a lot of questions that you might have. For example, what do I offer? How on earth is anybody gonna pay me thousands for that offer? What's a sales call? How do you even build this out? Like, how does it work? And all of these questions are what we navigated together, myself and Tom, over the last few months. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what we did together to bring Tom from having low ticket offers that weren't driving the revenue that he desired to having a clear premium offer. I'm going to show you the problem that he ran into, that so many people run into, that almost stopped him from making his first sales. And we're going to demonstrate exactly how he's built a steady and consistent pipeline now to have not only calls being booked, clients coming in every month, but also a clear path and a runway to continue this and to continue with the momentum that's been built.
I've been working in software development jobs for 13 years, and I've been going through this cycle of landing a job, doing it for a couple of years, and then taking some months off to go traveling, running out of money, and then coming back and landing another job. After I did that 10 times, I realized that probably working a job isn't right for me. There's got to be like a different approach that allows me to be more independent, to earn an income while I'm traveling and doing the things I want to do. I'd grown my YouTube channel to quite a decent size and I was getting quite a decent number of views, but I was only making like a couple of $100 a month. I think I got more confident in realizing that I could create an offer that is like longer and is higher price. The idea that people would pay a substantial amount of money for something was kind of new for me, because I'd been selling these $20 ebooks and $69 courses.
So when I look at somebody like Tom, who's got a platform, who's got an audience that are actually interested in him, and he's provided a lot of value, the first thing I'm thinking is, what's the offer that we can create to help these people on a deeper level and also charge that premium price point? And the biggest pitfall I see people run into is that they try to help everybody. And the problem with that is, when you try to help everybody, you don't really help anybody. And a mentor of mine once said, sometimes we got to let go of the 80% of people in order to really help the 20% that are ready and willing to do the work required to get the transformation in their own life. And that's where, as a coach, you come in.
One of the quick wins was basically nailing down my offer. And by this point, I knew that I wanted to help developers build a personal brand, because it was just something that I was kind of excited about. So yeah, we kind of helped nail down that offer, figure out what sort of developers would benefit from it, and kind of, I guess, switch it around from less of a feature-based thing and more talking about the benefits, which is something that developers in particular can struggle with.
So when we came up with the offer, we also came up with his unique mechanism and the way that he was going to help people with this transformation. And then the next step was to make a flagship video that literally just demonstrates exactly how this process happens. And the idea behind this is that people watch that video, they can take that information and they can go and implement it and have a great time. Or if they want to fast track their progress, if they want to get some coaching, then they have the opportunity to book in a call with Tom and then ultimately see if it makes sense for them to work together. But of course, you can't just make one video and expect your life to change. And that's where developing a multi-channel sales process comes into it. And so while Tom had that one flagship video, it didn't stop there. So the next step is to make more videos and then invite people to watch that other video. So if they missed it the first time and they come in 2 videos later, you point back with an end card to that video. And so people are getting more and more value from you. They're getting to learn more about you. You're building more rapport, and then you're sending them back to that powerful asset video that provides even more value and will have a strong call to action in there, so that people who watch that video, who resonate with it, are going to want to work with you. But that's just the YouTube side of things. And it's so important that you also invest energy into building connection with people off platform. And that's where lead magnets come in, value magnets, community mailing lists, these kinds of things, so that you can have multiple touch points and make offers through different platforms. And the most important thing here is that you consistently do this, because a lot of the time, the first time you make an offer, it's going to be crickets, and that's completely normal. But if you persist and you keep showing up and you keep making offers, then for the right person that hears it at the right time, they're going to take action and they're going to want to work with you.
I've started booking some calls. I was also emailing an existing email list I had, and I had also created a new lead magnet, like knowing that I was launching this product. So I had these like 3 different avenues, and it was pretty exciting to see that you can like use this social media platform to not only to get views and to get comments and to talk with people in the comments, but like actually to start generating calls where people are interested in potentially buying something that you have to offer. So one mindset shift I had was around the fact that when it comes to turning viewers into customers, you don't have to do as much as you might think you need to do, because basically by this point, those viewers have been watching your content. They most likely will have seen a few videos already. By the time that they come to book a call with you, I mean, they already trust you to some extent. The fact that they're booking that call shows that they like you as well. So by the time that you jump on a call with them, yeah, ideally there's not a whole lot you need to do to steer them into becoming a customer if that's the right move.
And that's the power of organic. And it's like, you almost didn't even consider that before. I think, it's like you're not just someone cold calling someone trying to sell them furniture that they don't want or whatever. Like they came into your store, they've been looking around, they've found something that they want.
Yeah, once you see a few calls come in, it's like it's just proof that this is a viable way of doing business online. It's no longer something that you've been watching other people talk about. It's something that you can do for yourself.
And by the way, if you're interested in growing your own brand and consistently hitting 10K months, only working with premium clients, then a spot inside my inner circle private coaching could be interesting for you. This isn't a course or a community, but it's my most intensive one-on-one mentorship, where we will together build a plan for you to scale your business without sacrificing authenticity along the way. I've just opened a few spots this month, and I'm going to be handpicking the most suitable applicants, so you can pop your application in the first link in the description. So for Tom, everything was looking really awesome. The audience was there, lots of sales calls were coming in, the offer was looking good, but then we hit a roadblock, and that was the sales call. And where most people go wrong is they run into a roadblock and then they just say this doesn't work. But in Tom's case, he kept coming to coaching calls, he kept asking me for feedback, and through that process, we're able to continue iterating and improving this part of his process. And this is where coaching is so important, because the only way to really learn and to solve your problems is to actually do the thing and then get feedback when you do the thing and it doesn't work how you thought it was going to work.
I was pretty new to sales at the time. I was nervous to talk about my offer. I was even nervous to ask them if they wanted to hear about my offer. Yeah, there was a lot of things to work through there until I could become more effective with that.
And why do you think that was so tricky for you at the time?
Probably quite a lot of attachment to the outcome. Like I really wanted to make this work, and me thinking about wanting to turn this call into like a successful sale put a lot of pressure on me, which probably in the long run worked against me rather than with me.
When you kind of started doing more calls, after the first several maybes, and like ultimately now, like you successfully like brought on a handful of people. So like, what do you feel was like turning point that actually made that happen for you?
Yeah, so I've had quite a few helpful group calls with you around the fact that what you're really looking for is alignment, and you're not trying to get anybody to do something that they wouldn't want to do anyway. You're looking for people that need help. I think part of it was just knowing that this was a process I was following that you and other people have already gotten results from. It was just more of a belief that it would be possible if I kept trying and kept improving. Yeah, like eventually the right people turned up, and they decided that, or we decided that my offer was the right option for them to move towards their goal.
Yeah, like you said, the right people showed up. If we're making decisions about the business, like being, you know, successful or not based on like the wrong people showing up, it's like, well, you weren't there to serve them in the first place anyway. So it's really just like, oh, you don't want this. Good. Okay. Who, like, next, I'll talk to the next person. So my philosophy around selling is it's more so aligning. And in order to align with somebody, we do what's called an anti-sales call. And a lot of the time when people don't make a sale, they think that there's something wrong with them. And more often than not, it's just that it was a misaligned lead in the first place. Whereas most people would just quit after a few calls that didn't go according to plan, people like Tom are asking for feedback. They're doing the thing, and when it doesn't work, they ask for feedback. And then they do it again, and then they ask for more feedback. And that's ultimately what brought him to the point of closing his first clients.
I'm currently working with clients within my program, so I've kind of proven that this is a viable model to move forward with. I'm seeing my YouTube channel now beyond just trying to get views, so beyond just like an ego-focused thing of getting a dopamine hit for getting a 1 out of 10 on YouTube and getting views. It's more turning into like an exercise of bringing people in, building trust over a time period. Means that it's a bit more motivating to create these videos, because you know you might bring someone in on one video, and a month or two down the line you might be on a call with them. It makes you more motivated that you want to actually create the videos, because you know there's going to be a payoff at the end of it, other than just getting views. To be honest, I was a bit skeptical about the whole coaching thing, and also about building my own community, which I've done now as well. It can actually be a lot of fun to create these offers where you're spending more time with people one-on-one or in a group. By the fact that you've attracted these people to you by watching your YouTube videos, you already know that they vibe with you, they vibe with your personality, and you've kind of got the same interests. So it can be a lot of fun working with them.
So since we met, what's really changed for Tom is that he's no longer focused on the egoic metrics of a YouTube channel, viewership and all of these things, because they don't really matter as much as having a back end in place and having an understanding of a sales process, a marketing cycle that is actually going to consistently attract people into your world, book calls, and then make sales. And now that Tom has all of this in place, he's got a lot of clarity on his content strategy. He's booking new calls every single week and has a coaching program up and running, and that's only going to grow because the foundation is set and he's acquired the knowledge and the experience, more importantly, to actually continue implementing this. So when things don't seem to be going according to plan, don't go and make a new offer. Don't go changing everything at once. Just focus on the one bottleneck, the one actual problem, because if you are focused on other stuff and that problem still exists, you can change your offer 1,000,000 times, but if that wasn't the problem, then you're never going to be able to sell the offer no matter how many times you change it, because at the end of the day, your problem was not the offer. If your problem is that your content isn't aligned with your offer, then you need to change the content. And so it's very important that you focus in on what the actual issue is, because otherwise you're solving issues that don't even need to be solved. So Tom went from having an audience that wasn't monetized effectively, jumping from this job to that job, to having a clear, concise, simple, premium, high ticket offer that allows him to work more deeply with the right people. So if you're sitting on an audience, or maybe you want to build one and you're sick of jumping around from this thing to that thing and you want an actual system and a roadmap to follow, that's the type of stuff that we do together. So if you're ready to get started, you can pop an application below, and if I'm certain that I can help you with your situation, then I will get back to you. And if you want to get a better sense of what work we would actually be doing together, I've made an entire video showing my exact process, which you can watch here.